In 2014, Community Cancer Fund was founded to fight cancer at the local level in the Inland Northwest. Our mission: work collaboratively to identify and fund gaps in services and local programs that benefit cancer patients and their families. And over the past decade, that dedication and the generosity of each of our donors has led to remarkable achievements in the areas of lodging, treatment, access to care, research, and screening. In 2015, we put Camp Good Times, a summer camp for children with cancer, back on solid financial ground so its legacy would live on forever. We constructed the Davidson Family Hospitality Center in Coeur d'Alene, a home for families and adults receiving cancer treatment. Our $3 million lead gift to the Ronald McDonald House in Spokane has provided a sanctuary for families and doubled its capacity. Thousands of Davenport hotel room nights have been donated to make cancer treatment accessible and free of financial burden. We have partnered with MultiCare and the University of Notre Dame for groundbreaking research. And in 2023, we blazed new ground and launched the region's first ever pediatric residency program with the WSU School of Medicine. Our community events, the Showcase, the Boulevard Race, and CCF Classic not only raise vital funds, but also bring us together in the best ways possible. The I Am community has continued to grow. Doctors, nurses, patients, survivors, loved ones, businesses, delivering the message, louder than ever, that we all play a part in the fight against cancer. Along the way, we have also been saddened when cancer strikes those closest to us.
Hello, everyone. I am Jaime Johnson, and I have been blessed to work with many of you through the years. This past November, I was diagnosed with a rare blood cancer called multiple myeloma. Currently, there is no cure for multiple myeloma, and when I was first diagnosed, I was told that I would likely die from this cancer within 1.5 to 5 years. But since my diagnosis, I have learned that the expert researchers and doctors have come up with so many advances and believe that there will be a cure in 2030. And with interim treatments, I believe that I will live to benefit from that cure. Even more important to me is to let you know that my story isn't just a cancer story. It is a story that best describes my I Am community. It is real, it works, it's powerful, and it's why we are here tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here and for being part of my I Am community.
Welcome to our backyard. You're welcome. So when I watched that video for the first time, it stirred two different sets of emotions. First, I couldn't be more proud than what this crowd over time has helped accomplish in the last 10 years in our community. And the second piece, Jamie's story, I'll get to in a minute. But I'd be remiss if I didn't do what I did every year and talk about the piece that was omitted in this video, and that was the 13 years leading up to the beginning of a CCF. And unfortunately, our good friend Mark and Marcy Few couldn't be here tonight. We got a guy out there trying to win us a gold at the Olympics in basketball. It's the first year that unfortunately the Fews couldn't make it, but it was really the ember that they started and then passed the torch to us that allowed us to start what's now been the I Am movement. And they can't be here, but this wouldn't exist without them. And as to my own, as to my own personal story, I have to thank my cancer doc, Rick, his daughter, Catherine, that are here, for which I wouldn't be alive today, or my family that was with me during my hard times almost 25 years ago, which was a similar story to one you'll hear of Jamie's, and that is, it's not all about the medicine, and it's not all about the ability to quantitatively get through a disease, but the softer side, pardon me, of what gets you through the cancer journey to the other side. And to that end, my story is 24 years old today, and I'm happy to be here. What my story is, however, is one that I've told to this crowd many times. And there's a story that Jamie's gonna tell that's not yet 24 hours old that I hope you guys will hear, allow it to soak in, and understand what we're trying to do here tonight on behalf of our community and those that are less fortunate, who, with access to care and centers of excellence and helping finance the bridge so their loved ones can be around them, will be the difference between life and death. I've seen it firsthand. Jamie has just witnessed it firsthand. And I want to bring her up and have her tell her story to you, and then take all the money out of your pocket so you can help the next person. Have at it, sister.
I don't know this is something I wanted to have at. Yeah, as you heard, the past 8.5 months have been an absolute crazy ride, and it's just the beginning of my journey. In November, I was diagnosed with a very rare blood cancer called multiple myeloma. It affects less than 200,000 people, and there's only about 9,000 of us that are lucky enough to experience it under the age of 50. And being the overachiever that I am, I also was lucky enough to get a high risk and aggressive subtype of this cancer. Within a week of my diagnosis, I started treatment, aggressive chemo injections and pills. Just to give you the facts, I experienced blindness for a week, head to toe rash and hives, welts, neuropathy, nausea, and so much more. I spent Christmas Eve and my birthday in the chemo chair. I watched the Gonzaga CCF game with all my friends there from chemo. In February, I moved to Seattle, where I was able to undergo stem cell treatment. There's less than 20,000 people that even get to experience that, and I was one of the lucky ones. That wasn't easy. Additional surgeries, daily blood draws, multiple tests, a lethal dose of chemo, harvesting of my stem cells, putting them back, the inability to walk, the inability to eat, and the inability to take care of myself. I wouldn't have been able to go through all of that if it hadn't been for my community. I'm not the only one with cancer, but I truly believe I'm one of the lucky ones with cancer. From the moment I was diagnosed, I had a community that rallied around me. Even when I kept it quiet, my community just kept coming. My community provided me with access to resources that other people didn't have. I have one of the best doctors in the world because of my community. My mom and my husband, of course, were by my side. They held my hand and sat with me as I received a lethal dose of chemo. And they were there to celebrate with me when I received my stem cells back. Never once did I have to worry about meals, how I was going to get gas to and from appointments, if I was going to have a safe place to live. So many people don't have these basic things, and I continued to see it. With every person that walked in, I was the lucky one. I was the one that had people with me. I was the one that had people cheering for me. Day after day, in the hospital and in the clinics, it was quiet. And not because the rooms weren't full, they were very full, but because everyone's trying to just go through their own struggle, and they just kind of kept to themselves. And all of you that know me know that I like friends and I like chatting, and no one was in that place. They just had to keep their head down. On the day that I was receiving chemo, which they continue to call the lethal dose, it was my lowest point. And as I pulled up to the clinic, I had an entire parade waiting for me. The High Council that's here was dressed in unicorn costumes, signs, music blaring, and I had the opportunity to go into that knowing that I wasn't alone. Went into the clinic that morning, and it was the first day that finally somebody broke the silence after months. And they came up and they said, "Are you Jaime from Spokane?" And I said, "Yes." And everyone started talking in the room. Everyone in the blood draw started talking because they kept saying, "Those unicorns made my day. That music was my favorite song. Your friends were just such great energy." And it was such a great day for everybody. The nurses kept stopping by to just tell me how great it was that I had such a great community and great friends. That was the day that I knew that my community didn't just show up for me, they showed up for others. It made such a huge difference that day for everybody in the clinic, and many of those people who were in their 70s and 80s, I collected a lot of mother-in-laws, are still my friends today. I still have a long road ahead. I start chemo again on Monday, but I'm grateful. I hope to be here. I believe I'll be here for quite some time. I should let you know that I did get really great news 2 weeks ago before coming here. I went from 90% cancer in my body to undetectable. Which is a miracle and the power of my community. My friends aren't so lucky. I had to have a conversation with them about what was happening tonight, and I promised them that my community is going to show up. My community is going to be there for them, just like they were for me, and they're going to beat this as well. So tonight, we are asking you to dig deep. We're asking you to show up, not just here tonight, not just for me, not just for someone that you know, but for somebody that you don't know. It means so much. Be those unicorns, guys. Please. Thank you.
So I ask all of you, how do you say no to that? So with that, we're going to do our annual paddle raise. And I hope you know how many stories like that I witnessed in a chemo chair, she witnessed in a chemo chair, and so many other here that are not on stage probably witnessed in a chemo chair. And some ended magically and some have ended tragically. But what you guys can all do here tonight can build a bridge to a better ending for so many that don't have a voice, don't have financial resources, but the access to a good outcome is out there. So I'm gonna bring Bob McConkey up here, the rest of the group, and we're gonna get our paddle race started.